What's the phenomenal one?
Huh?
The AJ Styles song?
Oh, they don't want none.
Yeah.
They don't want none
They don't
of this movie.
want none. Oh, fuck.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dudes Watch a Movie podcast. I am Notorious GNG.
It's Brock.
There it is.
I have a smooch.
And that's Lance. Yeah.
I was gonna go with the joke, but I forgot what my joke was gonna be.
Isn't that the worst?
You fell flat.
I was gonna do like last time I was Spider-Man. I was gonna be like, oh no, I was gonna get a haircut and shave my head and be, I'm the Kingpin. Look at me, man. But then I'm like, no, fuck that.
That would have been good.
That's dedication.
Good. Especially if you bought an all-white suit.
Yeah, that was the big thing.
That's too far.
Yeah.
It's a little too far into the character, though.
See, that's money.
That's how you change your life, right there.
Money, and I'm not gonna.
We also
That's
don't make
a call.
money.
Yeah.
Maybe if we had a budget,
Well,
I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
I need some money for the show this week.
But no one wants to advertise on 12 views.
no. I don't blame them either.
That's okay. I wouldn't want to advertise on this episode either.
Yeah, because this episode we watched Daredevil.
Sorry.
What do you? First of all, bite your tongue. Sorry.
No,
Why did you choose this movie?
Because we were watching a bad superhero movie, and
That's it.
And I wanted to connect it.
That's
You
just
made it last
Stay
night.
tuned. There will be more of a connection. And spoiler alert: it is my what the fuck moment.
So I know you don't feel so well about, or you don't feel the same, but I posted on the Facebook as like, new podcast soon, Ben Affleck's Daredevil, and then parentheses like, yeah, we weren't too proud either.
First of
I'm
all,
speaking for myself mostly.
yeah, how dare you put that
But-
kind of word on my name?
Hey, you don't manage the page, so you get no say.
Rude.
Is that
You
why
get no say.
you're trying to pawn that off on me?
He's just
No,
mad because he
To
owns
make
it on
me
Blu-ray.
The community manager.
No, I need some more input. I need people that actually do shit on there. I kind of do, and I'm trying to continue. I put up an advertisement. I put $4.35 of my own dollars for a $5 a day advert for
man.
a week.
Oh man,
And I got us 26
official.
more likes.
official as fuck. Hey, that was just a little peek behind the curtain. You know what I'm saying?
I find it funny that you want to do Daredevil, and then almost immediately Daredevil got canceled
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah, there's been a very weird negative trend with our podcast affecting things in the world, and I'm just hoping that we don't accidentally get somebody killed at some point.
Yeah. Let's
I-
watch our tongue, I
yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, we're gonna get that funhouse curse.
Funhouse. I was gonna say Achievement Hunter. I mean, same company, but
True. Rooster Teeth owns them all.
Yeah, except for one's funhouse and there's a piece of shit.
Yup. Calling you out.
Yeah.
Those who will never, ever, ever, ever,
Right.
ever see this.
And who are also not pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no. We had just watched a bad superhero movie, and I wanted to watch it. Also, I love Daredevil. He's my second favorite superhero.
Speak up, be
The-
proud.
the
I
character or
love-
the
I
movie?
love the character. The character.
Let's get that straight.
Yeah, let's be very clear that
Okay,
character does not appear at any point of this movie. There is a blind man in a red costume. That's about it.
there. I don't know if I want to jump into this now. This feels a lot like Constantine,
Yeah.
which I know you guys have done.
Mm-hmm.
In the, I recognize the character, but I can also tell
Poor-
this is
poor execution.
nothing. This is like way away from the comics, way away
Yeah.
from the source material.
Yep. But where Constantine works, Daredevil not really, not so much. No, they did almost. I don't know where to start. Honestly, I don't remember it being so bad.
How about we start with where we always do, with a plot.
That's a good call.
Here we go. Yeah.
What
so-
plot? What fucking plot?
In the beginning,
Daredevil 2006. 2003. I want to say 6 because it's
Yes.
episode 36. Welcome again. Tagline for this film was a daring new vision.
was that really the title?
Yeah, a daring new vision.
And people wonder why superhero movies took a while to be taken seriously.
Right? So, plot simple, short, sweet. A man blinded by toxic waste, which also enhanced his remaining senses, fights crime as an acrobatic martial arts superhero.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Box office, their budget, $78 million, which was supposed to be smaller, but since the success of Spider-Man, they're like, hey, let's give some more money.
They spent it all in the leather suits.
It didn't do so well.
No.
Opening weekend got $45 million back. Gross total eventually by July was $102 million. So they kind of made back.
Yeah.
Didn't make much of a profit, but
They made enough to greenlight a sequel.
Yeah. Anyway.
Electra.
Oh,
Is that
really a
Yeah.
sequel?
It's the same actress playing the same character. Technically, it might be a prequel. I never saw it, so I don't know if it takes place before she died
think
or
it's
if she's resurrected as Electra tends to be.
I think it's a spin-off, you'd call it that. Because Affleck's not back, is he?
I've never
No,
seen it.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it.
I can
either.
There's
tell
only
you
one
no.
person at this table that has ever seen it and that also owns it on Blu-ray.
I've seen Electra.
You're the one person.
Oh. And I do. Oh, I do own it. Oh, gross.
Every time I hear the name Electra, I think
Carmen.
Electra.
Yes.
I think back to a poster my brother had. That's all I have in my head now.
Is that why the table's a little bit higher on your side right now?
Was it a titty post?
I felt like I was a little off balance.
Glad I'm sitting down. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's all I got. I'm not gonna go over the cast. I mean, I can if need be, but that's all there.
There's one thing I want to say. I got really excited because
That's why the
during the
tables-
opening credits, that too, my erection. During the opening credits, there's someone's name which is David Keith, and I read that as Keith David.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? He's in this? Oh no! Wait a minute.
Jack Murdoch.
You know what's really weird about that? We were just talking about him like right before that because we saw a trailer or a commercial or something with his voice in it. You were like, is that the Saints Row guy?
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
his name, Keith
Yeah.
David.
There's a
big
couple
old
other
gap tooth.
names that are dropped in this movie. Casada is said, and he's like one of
There's a shitload actually.
Yeah.
Like most of the characters in the film were named after
references to people that worked on it. Yeah.
And there was a complaint about that when they were doing that, sometimes it would basically pull you out of the narrative because you're like, oh hey, that's.
Tom, this is a perfect example for me to finally explain fan service. That is fan service.
Oh.
That is not an Easter egg. That's fan service. I would think it's fan service because
Debatable.
it doesn't do anything for the story or for the plot. It's literally just there so that the people that know those names go, oh, now I'm out of the movie.
I only got that on two references in this. One, I'm assuming they never give the full name, just Kirby.
Oh,
So I'm like, is that to Jack Kirby?
Yeah.
But if I didn't know who that was, the guy's name is just Kirby. It's kind of like
I know Kirby
side
has a
tangent,
little pink
which
ball.
might tie in the original Ninja Turtles. When they're like, yeah, go check Eastman and Laird, which is the name of the original creator. It's like, I never picked that up as a kid.
Wasn't it the doctors at the morgue or somewhere around there that you were saying were actual writers?
No, they were showing. I think it was a marquee had names of some of the people that
so
were
it
writers.
was.
Yeah, things like that just sprinkled throughout. It doesn't bother me. This is the first time I ever noticed it because I haven't watched this movie in a long time.
Same.
And I've now read an extensive amount of Daredevil, and I was like, I know those names. One name that really bothered me that I did not know was in this and did not know the importance of this character was Karen Page, who is his receptionist, and fuck that bitch. It was so upsetting that she was in this movie. Like, I had no recollection. She literally gets him coffee once, but that is one of like the biggest characters of the mythos, and she's a total bitch. I hate her.
Gets some coffee once and solves the murder. In this film, or are you talking about overall?
She got him coffee in this movie. That's it. Yeah.
Well, she also solved the. Wow, mom.
That was also upsetting.
Yeah.
I felt
Wait,
it was
what?
the same thing. So
Did you watch? The
Did you watch the director's cut? I
Yes.
wanted to watch the
We were
director's
gonna
cut.
tell
I
you.
accidentally rented the original, and I wasn't going to spend another $4.
That's what we were hoping would happen.
yeah.
actually.
So in the director's cut, maybe that's why I don't remember Karen ever being in the movie because maybe she got
She
cut.
was completely taken.
That's
out of
what it
yeah.
was.
Same with
That's-
all
she was
the
in-
Coolio plot, completely out of there.
Welcome back to
That's the next,
Welcome
next
back to him.
tie-in.
Okay.
Do we? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what the tie-in is to Batman, Affleck.
Yeah.
The fact that Daredevil is
yeah.
basically a Batman.
A better Batman.
spoof, a better Batman.
a better Batman.
Debatable.
He is a better Batman.
Debatable.
Both have
I'm
horns.
not going to debate it.
Both
but-
have horns, right? Right.
Here's-
both have dead parent issues, right? truthfully, both are just human. In this one, like, he's got the ability to like jump rooftops and all sorts of crazy things like that.
He's Spider-Man.
Basically, yeah. Like in the
be
comics,
honest,
he gets
he's
the
got a-
shit kicked out of him, and like every superhero's got like super toughness, like by default.
No, he doesn't. Daredevil does not have super toughness.
No, I'm saying by default, every superhero has a form of like they can take way more damage than anyone should be able to. But for the most part, he's just got heightened senses, and he's been trained by Stick. Batman, his version of Stick is Ra's al Ghul. He's just kind of a rich dude who got trained.
Who's Stick?
Stick is his mentor. It's the one that he's not in this movie.
Is he like Whistler?
Kinda, yeah. And
The wise old mentor that
Yep.
trains you.
eventually he turns because they have like, well, you shouldn't kill. Yes,
His
we
name is
should.
Stick, and he uses a staff.
Yeah, well, Master Splinter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is where they differ, and this is where Daredevil becomes the better Batman. Batman cannot actually try people and put them away lawfully, whereas Daredevil can. He's not only fighting them at night, but fighting him by
But
day
he's also breaking
in the court
laws,
system.
beating his alter ego self.
So is Batman. Doesn't give a
You know
fuck.
what's gonna happen the second they figure out that Matt Murdock is the Daredevil.
Oh yeah, they're all
Every
getting-
single conviction he's ever gotten gets immediately overturned.
Yep. Yep.
Immediately, it's Harvey Dent all over.
But the biggest reason he's a better Batman than Batman is he actually uses echolocation to see.
There is. I don't know who did it. There's a little cartoon where Daredevil meets Batman, and someone's like, "Why are you called Daredevil? You're dressed like a devil. You have echolocation like a bat."
Yeah.
And then Ghost Rider shows up, like, "Why the fuck are you here?"
Ghost Rider, by the way, the movie directed by the same person that directed this movie, and a lot of things made sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can see the connection there.
It doesn't help Nicolas Cage or something. To be fair.
Nicolas Cage would have been fun as Daredevil.
Look at my abs.
Nicolas Cage is fun as every superhero.
We saw Mandy. It wasn't that great.
He wasn't a superhero, Mandy.
Was he trying to be?
I have no idea.
He was.
Took him a while to figure out comic book movies.
Very much
The
so.
opening to this is really fucking slow. Just in a pacing.
Yep.
You start in the technically at the end of the movie, and then flashback to the origins, which is like 20 minutes of the movie.
It's like a shitty Kill Bill format, but
Yeah.
they don't do it well.
Before
It
we get
doesn't
too far
work.
away from Batman, I want to point out these interesting facts here. Ben Affleck was a fan of the character. Like, he really liked Daredevil as a character, and acting him out was such an unpleasant experience that in November 2006 he stated that he would never reprise the role, having felt by playing a superhero in Daredevil, I have inoculated myself from ever playing another superhero. Wearing a costume was a source of humiliation for me and something I wouldn't do again soon. It's believed that Daredevil costume was very uncomfortable to wear. However, in 2013, Affleck accepted the agreement to play Batman.
And now he's out.
Yeah, he remembered.
He was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Now I know why I don't like being a superhero."
money
I
wasn't
didn't
worth
like
it.
this.
I kind of wish he would have gotten a solo Batman movie.
Yeah, especially
Would've
the one he
been-
was
yeah.
working on.
It would have helped
Yeah.
establish him.
Yeah. Speaking of the beginning, though, is it weird how it starts out almost like a horror movie? Like they're creeping up the thing and they keep flashing in those other pieces of the murder that he's been working on, which is really confusing and out of place.
Yeah.
That might not have. Was that in your cut? Did they flash in little images?
Vaguely, I remember thinking this doesn't really belong, but then I realized, oh yeah, that's Braille that's popping
Oh,
up.
yeah,
Took me
yeah.
way too long to realize
Yep.
that.
There was also that scene where he's in his little coffin thing and that chick's crawling on the floor. That wasn't in his version.
That's another one of those
Just
intro
little
ones.
weird dark
Yeah.
shit.
I actually really liked the deprivation chamber. That
I
was
do,
a
but I
nice
don't.
touch.
I thought it was a little much because I was like, how's he gonna
I-
breathe? Because I assumed it was like probably an airtight thing that he sits in there.
Yeah.
but no.
I kind of, at first I thought, am I watching Batman?
Right.
What was it? Was it Val Kilmer hanging upside down in
Yeah.
the original? Like,
Yeah.
no, that's not. Don't do that.
That's not
Why
what
is
he
he in a
actually
coffin?
does.
He's not a real devil. Oh, it's a separate
Yeah.
sensory deprivation chamber. Be the only way he could sleep.
You would think he could just get a soundproof room.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he also has the feel and the touch.
That's true. Yeah.
I like that touch, and there are parts in the movie where they play with that, where he's doing like the Superman thing. He can hear the whole city.
Yeah.
Kind of scanning it.
Yep.
but then they kind of drop it halfway through.
Yeah, 100%. I commented on a scene. He goes to that ball, and this lady's like carrying this plate of like hors d'oeuvres, and he happens to see the mist coming off. I'm like, I'm sure that mist isn't making any noise.
Is that the director's cut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Everything we talk about is just the
damn it.
director's cut.
I knew I wanted
He
to
goes
watch
to
that
this
one,
ball,
and
like there's all this like steam and fog coming off, and he sees that. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
And they
But
kind of like they can't seem to follow their own like rules for it either. Like sometimes he can hear things exactly where they're at. Sometimes he can smell things. Other times he can't do either, even though he should be able to. Like it's so weird.
with the train, sometimes he's crippled by it. Other times he's totally fine with like gunshots. That would just destroy you. If a train makes you, oh no, my powers.
And yet in the beginning,
gunshot.
he cranks his gun. It's not his gun. He cranks his music to max.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Hanging
another
out,
weird one.
like,
What's worse, having super hearing and then turning up the music, or turning up fucking 90s butt rock?
Hey, it's early
My
2000s.
immortal. Surprised Creed wasn't in this soundtrack.
They were just a little too late for Creed. They had to be.
Do you think they would have
more
used
gothic.
Creed if Spider-Man didn't use it?
Well, first of all, Spider-Man did not use Creed.
They did.
They used
No, Chad Kroeger.
Nickelback. Yeah.
Wait,
and
did
the
they not?
Saliva guy.
Am I just
Saliva
confusing
guy,
them?
yeah.
I'm confusing them.
Yeah,
'cause
they're
they
all very
sound the
similar.
exact goddamn
Exactly.
same.
Yes. Hey,
it's called cock rock.
Cock. Thank you. Thank you. Someone knows the proper nomenclature.
Because you guys started a
Butt rock.
small cock rock band for like a song called Old Spice. Smells nice.
Smells so good.
If you dig up our old YouTube
I don't think it was ever
archives-
uploaded. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm pretty sure it was. It's still there.
Nope.
I've seen it twice, unless you've removed it. But
Yeah, probably.
you
So
just
the
don't
beginning
talk
of the
about
movie.
that, do you?
The beginning kind of blows.
It's super slow, you're correct. But there's also one thing that's established really well in the beginning, and that's even though they didn't know how to actually tell a comic book movie, they knew how to shoot a comic book movie, because a lot of like the shots and the lighting and the scenes are super like old Hollywood and also very comic book, like annoyingly comic book at times, like when they're having their first trial and the Dutch angles are on hard.
angles, yes.
Yeah,
He's like, yeah, I feel put off, but not because of the angle, more so because his shit just doesn't make sense to me.
correct.
Yeah.
So
I
I
wrote it
mean,
down.
that's pretty much the only positive I have. The only actual positive that I have about this. The rest are all not positives that are super positives.
So real quick, neither of you like the movie, right?
I wouldn't go that far. I didn't like the movie until I watched it last night.
I mean, so for me, I put it in my overall thoughts, and we'll just go ahead and do that one right. Honestly, this film is what made me really jaded for superhero movies. And then for that to follow with Elektra, like Superman, that wasn't not Superman. Spider-Man wasn't terrible. Like I was like, okay, yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a new, I don't say niche, but like a new style of movies that was starting to come out after the whole Batman craze. And then Elektra came out after that, and then something else, whatever. And I just was like, I felt like I had enough. Like I seen those two, and I was like, if this is how it's gonna keep going, I don't even want to bother. Like,
Right.
no, I don't even want to give it a shot.
It's such a bad introductory point.
It really jaded me for that one. But yeah, so
It's surprising the genre survived. How many bad starts it had, the Batman movies. Spider-Man, I've heard Spider-Man saved the series. I'm not saying they were bad.
The first Batman movie was a roaring
No,
success.
I mean like Batman Forever.
Oh, okay.
Batman
I'm
and
with you.
Robin.
I gotcha.
The decline of Batman.
Yeah,
It
they were able to
peaked
bounce
and
back.
then fell right
Yeah.
And then you
back
had
down
stuff
deep
like
and
Blade, which had an audience, but it didn't hit mainstream.
Yeah, it was R.
The X-Men stuff didn't quite hit it for some.
But
You had Daredevil, Elektra,
Ghost Rider. Fantastic Four.
Exactly. And then somehow Spider-Man hits. It's amazing. Iron Man hits. Everyone loves Robert Downey Jr.
And then Dark Knight hits and it's over.
And then Dark Knight, and it's
Forever.
and then
solidified.
explodes.
Right.
It's just amazing.
The genre has definitely gone through
peaks and valleys.
not like it's you hit one and then just years of not so great
Not touching
into
that
shit,
point.
and then another one comes back.
It saves the whole
Right.
series.
And it was going that way for about, it seemed like every 5 years a good one would come out, and then a bunch of garbage until, like you said, Dark Knight, and then Marvel got a hold of it and they're like, hey guys, Maybe we should do this because we know how to tell overarching story types.
We figured out the formula.
Right.
I had never seen this movie. I'd always heard it was bad.
Since yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I never saw it or Electra.
Oh.
I just
Wow.
never seen it.
Sorry.
Yeah, thanks for making me watch this movie on my birthday, guys. God.
You're welcome.
It
Happy
wasn't.
belated birthday.
Maybe it's because I'm the same. I'm so jaded. Even the bad stuff, I'm like, it's fine. It's not the worst thing ever. You know, Batman and Robin, not the worst thing ever.
It could also be with how much people have torn into it.
Yeah.
That you expect it to be way worse than it is. Yeah, I can see that.
Setting the bar so low, it's like, you know.
What
I
were-
can see why people hate it.
Right. I mean, Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jennifer Garner.
So while we're on that topic of setting the bar so low, how do you guys think you would improve the film overall? What type of things would you add to it to make it better?
Go ahead. You go ahead.
me?
It's going to be a minute for me.
I would say make it more kind of cohesive, like more of a flowing story. Don't start with, okay, here's the beginning, here's the end of the movie, and then backtrack. That's very hard to pull off, and you're not going to do that with a comic book
Not a
movie.
Quentin Tarantino movie.
Make it more of a connection. Like there's a point where Kingpin's like, "You're gonna go get the devil." That's a bad Michael Clark Duncan, but you're gonna kill the devil. It's like you've never even mentioned his name until this point.
There was
Yeah.
something I realized when I watched it, not till way late in the movie, they finally say Daredevil. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like the very last scene.
we're almost
Yeah.
done with the film. They just now say it.
Well, like Joe Panatilio.
The Matrix guy?
Yeah, I keep calling him Joe Paterno.
Ben,
like that's
ben
wrong.
Ulrich?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the reporter.
Yep.
Ben
It's like,
Urich.
is this the report? Is this the work of the Daredevil? And a couple times. No, like
Guess I must have
Kingpin,
missed it then.
they kind of act like they have a history, which technically they do. And they drop an, oh, he killed your father. Why wasn't he the big boss man? And why didn't you already know that? Rather than having his lackey be on trial, have the Kingpin be on trial.
Yeah, you think
And then
that
him
would...
be involved in it, and there's this back and forth with the courtroom. Utilize that he's a lawyer and a vigilante. So you have that duality going on.
And you would think that Murdoch would have him as like a person of interest well before.
Yeah.
Like you think
He would have
be
been
hip to that.
following all these murder cases.
Right.
Of, oh, the guy left a rose. Who's the rose killer?
That's
Exactly.
why he needs Batman, because he's the world's greatest detective.
But he is.
I'm dear
That's all I got.
Batman.
That's all I got.
What about
There's a everything he said for sure. Because one thing that bothers me about this movie, the timeline jumping. One thing that really doesn't help that is that after it jumps back, it doesn't jump back to like the start of his issue with who he's fighting, which you don't see or what got him here. It jumps all the way back to his childhood.
Yeah.
And then it jumps forward to the recent past, and it's just convoluted as fuck.
I thought this was like an origin. He's just starting out, like in Batman Begins.
That is what it is.
This is his first, but it's not.
Doesn't feel like it at
He's
all.
been operating for several years now. They mentioned that in the movie, a couple of the articles. It's like he's been around for a couple of years, hearing rumors and myth. If he's been around for several years, why has he never run into more of the Kingpin stuff?
Yeah.
It feels like he's just starting out,
Yeah.
but they want to have an established backstory so
There-
they don't have to deal with the origin stuff.
There might be a director's cut portion where the Kingpin says something along the lines of, "They want a Kingpin, we'll give him," and like that's him finally saying, "I'm just gonna go for it."
This is why this is so difficult. Do you judge the movie based off of what the majority of the audience saw in theaters or what the director wanted in his cut?
I can tell you it does not help, so don't worry. it's still not good.
Yeah.
But the big thing I would change is everyone that was like in charge of this movie needs to just, because the story itself that they're telling is
The
simple
Thanos?
enough. Yeah. Like
Balanced.
it's not a hard story, you know. It's kid's father dies, he grows up, becomes hero, avenges him. I think they rush too much into what they're doing. They should have either just jumped into him now and not tried to show the like
There
how
was
he
no
got
in
there.
between.
Yeah, they stuck a foot in like each pool, and it was just not cohesive, like you said.
I wonder how many rewrites this went through.
Yeah, I would assume.
And I wonder
Actually, mostly also to try and keep the rating to PG-13.
Yeah. I wonder if we're kind of spoiled now, because Marvel's figured out how to do a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Like okay, I saw Black Panther. Everyone's like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I didn't love it, but it wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing was wrong with it. It told the story. It was fine.
Right. Even I'm not that I'm saying that's the worst Marvel movie, but even the worst Marvel movie is better than like every other superhero movie.
Exactly.
For the most part.
They've figured out how to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
This was still back in the early beginnings.
Yep.
Of how do we take comic books, which are still kind of kid material, and bring that to a mainstream audience. So I wonder if we're just...
They did mention something like that in an article I was reading where they were talking about how they were trying to be more adult, but also sticking to the kid friendliness about it. So they didn't go full adult. They just were kind of that maybe teenage years.
And
type
who did they decide should be the one for the kids? Fucking Bullseye.
Right.
He is hamming this movie up so
you
hard.
mean Bullseye.
So
Yeah.
for just so for you know, he's not gonna know about your airplane, your airport scene, because that was a director's cut only.
So
Can I borrow that?
yeah, 100%. It's right here.
You subject yourself to that again. Go ahead.
I've already watched it twice.
Wow, dang. Here's the deal. So I do not remember this as a child, but I've noticed it very hard now. He is this movie's Jim Carrey. He is this movie's Uma Thurman. What? No, Jar Jar didn't know he was in a bad movie. Colin Farrell knew he was in a bad movie. He's
The second he shows up, he
ham it
knows.
the
He's like
up.
doing faces and he's making weird grunt.
Real quick. The first 2 minutes of him on screen is he doesn't even speak. He's just
Grunts everything.
And he does like the weird like coat twirls and he's like, if I want a costume. It's like, what?
Does he actually get a costume?
No.
He just gets a longer jacket.
I saw no
That's it.
difference.
No. Yeah,
No difference.
When he said that, I was like, they don't give him a costume, right?
Did they cut that scene out? Like why? And again, why is he obsessed with the costume?
Because he has a costume as a comic book character. That's the overarching why he said it.
They don't know why.
Fan service.
Yep.
I wouldn't call that fan
I'm
service.
just gonna call everything fan service.
maybe it's because I'm used to anime fan service, which is a little bit different.
See, yeah.
Not appropriate for the kids.
Right.
I know where this is going.
Different branch.
Yep.
Different tree
But-
branch.
So this is weird. Colin Farrell, he originally wanted to be Daredevil or Murdoch.
Yep. Actually,
Affleck wanted to be Bullseye.
Yep. I read that.
Other names considered: Vin Diesel for both Bullseye and Murdoch.
Stink out of here. Vin Diesel stink.
He ended up going to do Riddick.
Worked out.
Almost the same exact type of.
Also
moves
for-
as Daredevil.
Yeah, because they had the eye
Blind.
thing.
Yep.
Also Daredevil, Matt Damon.
I think it's because somebody told him film acting is all in the eyes, and he's like, shit.
Matt Damon turned it down
I
because
have
he
no fear.
didn't have enough faith in the script for the director.
Good call, Matt Damon. It proves-
Edward Norton,
Oh, I didn't know that one.
which that would have been weird.
Yeah,
I would not have known.
he's got a bad face for it.
I mean, he did play Hulk.
That was also weird.
Did Hulk come out? When did Hulk come out? Was it 2001?
I can tell you.
He wasn't in that one.
Continue.
Oh, that's right. That was
He was
Banner.
yeah. That was, I
Yeah.
think, in 2002.
That's another one to add to.
Yeah.
Like, they have no idea how to work with this character.
Well, he only works when he's with other characters.
Kind of. I think he could. You'd have to do
2008.
side tangent. You'd have to. That was
Norton one, right?
Norton one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same continuity.
That's true.
You would have to do the Hulk more as a side character in his own movie. Focus on other characters
like-
dealing with the Hulk.
You'd have to make a Godzilla movie.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that makes
perfect.
sense.
Perfect. Yeah.
That would actually be really cool. Hulk versus Godzilla. Sign me up. Throw Kong in there. Let's throw down.
Cross over.
Yes.
Hulk smash. I think Godzilla was in the Marvel universe for a while,
That would be awesome. I'm
or
glad to
at least
see
in the
it.
comics. We were talking about Colin Farrell. I forgot. You did Bullseye, him hamming it up.
Correct. And that was my only real point about Colin Farrell.
Does it work though?
For
I
me, 100% yes.
Yeah.
Not it. As a movie, no. But as my entertainment Yeah, he was the entertainment for this movie. There's 2 people in this movie that are perfect for the complete opposite reasons. And so obviously Colin Farrell one, and then Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin is the other one, because he is the only person in this movie that's actually good. He is awesome as the Kingpin.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't know, like, it's hard. You watch Netflix?
Maybe. No.
Neither of you watched.
Oh,
the
the Daredevil.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode.
So you then at least saw Kingpin though, right?
I've seen
Fisk?
photos of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio is also super good, but I think Michael Clark Duncan is the better Kingpin in terms of actual looks for it, because he is just hooked in this movie.
There's one minor difference.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's the
Fun
thing.
fact. Sorry, go ahead.
Probably what you were gonna say. Originally, he was supposed to
Yeah.
be African American.
He was
but then
originally
they
supposed to be
decided
black.
not to do that because of the times. They're like,
Yeah.
let's not have the evil villain be.
Oh, like in the comic,
Yeah.
Kingpin was supposed to be black.
Yep.
Interesting.
And then they switched him over
Yeah.
to white, and then they just reprised it in this one. So
Huh.
it fits.
Also, fun fact. Even though Michael Clark Duncan is fucking massive, and like what 6'6",
I know where you go.
they wanted him to add 40 pounds to be even more massive, and to be on lift boxes.
Yep.
So that he would literally tower over. Like, he's already a massive man, and you want more.
I was kind of thinking that while I was watching. I'm like, I feel like the dimensions of this are kind of weird. Yeah, like I know you're big, but why didn't they just CGI it like they CGI everything else in this movie?
Right, that fucking rat in the very beginning. The reason why they did that, because the rat they had originally just wouldn't do the movements they needed for the camera works. Like, fuck it, we'll just put it in CGI.
And then we'll distract everyone from the rat by really bad CGI scenes.
CGI is so bad.
So prevalent.
And it's weird too, because
I
sometimes
know
it's just
it's-
CGI backgrounds and it's still
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Like the city. Like, that's not a good shot. You're proud of that too.
Yeah.
You spent 80
Proud of
million
that.
on that.
Yeah.
That's what all the extra budget went into too, was the CGI effects.
Yeah, it's the only thing.
Yeah.
Those the sonar things took about 8 months for them to complete. Those shots. Just those
Ooh, they
shots
could crank that
alone.
out in a weekend now.
Right.
I think a little more tweaking, I would really like that as an effect.
The sonar thing.
Parts of it are really good, but then when you try to do the
If
faces,
they stuck with the formula too.
yeah,
The faces look like PS2 characters.
Yeah.
The other thing
Yeah.
about the faces is they were mentioning how, like, if it were raining, like, there shouldn't be anything showing up like where your nose is hanging
'cause of the
over
rain,
like your
yeah.
chin.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, it
Unless it's sideways rain,
So,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, yeah, you know. That's the other area where the money went to rain budget.
Get the water in here.
I'm just excited because I finally get to say the catchphrase. It was a movie for its time.
Justice.
Okay.
Damn it, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna open with justice,
Well, you got to say it like Ben Affleck says it though.
justice,
Less-
justice,
Less intimidating.
justice,
What do you want?
justice,
Justice. It's so non-threatening. It's ridiculous.
What is it that you?
What do you want, buddy?
Anyways, this is one of the most, I think I even put in the notes here, this movie is so 2003. It's like the most 2003 movie I've ever seen. Like the bad
100%.
CGI, all the moodiness and the, like,
The
you gotta
grim
think,
dark.
we're like right before My Chemical Romance hitting peak. Like, people are ready for it.
The darkness, yeah.
Evanescence. Yes.
Twice.
Yep.
Okay,
He had
okay,
a moment. He had a
okay.
moment.
On the whole, dare to see a new vision.
Okay.
The Evanescence song, and then it cuts to the line, "I was so blind I couldn't see." Right as it goes right back to Murdoch. I'm like, really, guys? Really? Subtlety is not your strong
Put
suit.
it out there.
I remembered, what is it? Wake Me Up. I can't, is it the name of the song?
I don't
My
know what it is.
Immortal, or
No, that's the other one. That's
that
the
was
one.
that was at the
That's
funeral.
That's the funeral, and that's the one I did not remember being in this movie.
Bring Me to Life.
That sounds correct. I remembered that one 100% because all I can think of is the Elektra hitting the sandbags and like who sets that up for her, which I thought was in a different movie. I didn't remember it was this movie, but I do remember the song. I did not know My Immortal was in this movie. That's amazing.
I wouldn't doubt it if they reprised that for Elektra. They just like swap that scene back in.
Oh my God, you're right. The soundtrack of Elektra, like all of her like soundtracks of just big her moments are Evanescence.
I used to like Evanescence.
That sucks.
On the topic of Electra,
I still like My Immortal. It's a solid song, but I only think of the fucking funeral scene from now on.
On the topic of Electra, do you feel the film would have been better by taking her out completely?
No. Well, Take Jennifer Garner out, yeah, but not Elektra. No.
Oh,
As the character.
No, she's fine. She serves like the only real purpose of like the midway point of that movie, because he's sure as hell not really trying to find out what's going on with this murder. He's just having a weird boner about Jennifer Garner and the rain. And yeah,
that is a really weird. Back to the whole Constantine thing. It feels like half the writers knew everything about Daredevil. The other half knew jack shit.
Those are the ones I gotta pick.
And both kind of mix. Because it feels like these characters should have a relationship. They have a backstory.
Yep.
But yet, we, the audience, don't see it.
I feel like, though, this wasn't the movie for that. Because if it's going to be like the introduction into Daredevil, I felt like they shouldn't have put her in there altogether. I feel like they should have did more focus on Daredevil himself. And then had they done a sequel, bring her in there to start, bring it into another thing. Because I feel like with how they did it, you have like the child and then you have the adult. Like if they would have expanded that whole entire set and just took her out of that, then you have the Daredevil's own film. And then like if they did a sequel, bring her into it. And then kind of like how Marvel does their movies now. You have your origin, sort of. And then you start merging more characters in together for like a finale of the movie.
But at the same token, if they got rid of this very small origin story that they do have, they could have done the Elektra bit. So it's not so much that she shouldn't or doesn't need to be there, it's that they tried to do way too much, and so none of it got fleshed out. Because if they had just her, they could have focused more on who she is, why she's there, what she really is. That bothers me that she's
like a super ninja, right?
Yeah, she's the leader of the
Why
Heist.
isn't she that in this movie?
She's not.
Why
close
isn't
to that,
she?
Yeah.
That would okay. Back to the whole
That's what I'm
Batman
saying. She
thing.
got her own movie.
Bring her
in.
You have the duality, lawyer and vigilante.
Right.
You have the lawyer side, which is backed up by Foggy.
Who is not good in this.
Froggy. Oh, is it
Really?
Froggy? Isn't
Yeah.
it?
I liked him.
Keep calling him
He might
Froggy.
have been my favorite part.
No, the Netflix Foggy is way better.
Yeah. Oh,
I
I'm
do
sure
like
he
Jon
is.
Favreau, but
Maybe that's why I just like him as an actor.
yeah.
But you have that side, and then on the vigilante side, he'd have Elektra, and then kind of being pulled between vengeance
Yep.
and the law.
You ever read Daredevil before?
No.
'Cause it sure sounds like you had.
If you would just done that rather than okay, she's a civilian love interest who's
That's what I was
also
gonna say, it's all that
somewhat
she was,
trained.
honestly.
Yep.
She has not a lot to do in the movie,
Not
and then
even a
immediately
little bit.
dies.
She just has a super uncomfortable scene where Matt Murdock is uncomfortably stalking her.
Yeah.
That's
Won't take no for an
okay.
answer, that guy.
I do wonder if he's used how many times he's used that pickup line.
Lots.
Hey, can you give me that stuff? What are you, blind? Yes.
Give
me that,
Wanna
honey.
fuck?
Yes. It's a
Pity fuck.
it's a known fact that Daredevil slays Boone. Like he's the Marvel equivalent to Batman. He's had a lot of love interests, and for some reason, the majority of them have been super villains.
Of course.
Right. I don't know. I think that's. I like Elektra the character, but I think I hate Jennifer Garner as Elektra. One, she doesn't fit the look of Elektra. Elektra is literally a Greek goddess, named after one.
You keep bringing me back to, I wasn't paying attention. I kind of looked away when she said her name, and I heard, "My name is Electric Nachos." I'm like,
Nachos.
That's
"What?
exactly what he.
Like
That's
nachos?
exactly what he heard.
That's a easy one. Would you have preferred Selma Hayek?
Yes.
How about Natalie Portman?
No.
No.
Jessica Alba?
Not really. Closer, but no. Elektra
Gal Gadot
need-
would have been decent.
Gal Gadot would be a perfect Elektra. Yeah, it's the facial structure. You need to have kind of a longer
Because
face.
isn't Elektra supposed to be kind of like exotic?
Yeah, she's Greece
That's what I
or
thought.
Greek. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are some of the other names.
I know there's an article by Forbes by Scott Mendelson. He put it in there. He goes, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. They frankly do their best they can with woefully unwritten characters. But Jennifer Garner especially suffers as her love interest character is intended to fall head over heels for Matt upon a single rather hostile meeting.
Yeah.
Where he says in there, his downright stalkerish pursuit of her, which accumulates to a fight scene in a playground, was creepy even back in 2003 and now feels like a hashtag yes all women billboard.
Yes.
And then a brief flirtation in the rain.
Yeah.
That feels like they have no idea. The writers had no idea what to do.
Just like
And someone just said, make them fight. They're both trained, right?
It'll be hot.
If she had been a super ninja, that would have made a bit more sense.
Yeah, they never flesh out any of that.
Yeah.
She
Until the
just
sequel.
she
She
just
suddenly has moves.
they don't even like really
Like Jerry?
reference it either. Like I don't remember them saying anything that would hint to be like, oh yeah, it's
She-
just her father is rich.
She said that my father had me train with a different sensei every year since I was 5.
But why?
Exactly. That would have made more sense if also, by the way, we're a secret clan of ninjas.
See,
BT
it-
dubs.
This is where they get rid of the Matt as a kid, and they should immediately start with him trying to figure out, like, seeing this girl like kill somebody but not being able to see her face, and then he'd be like,
You could have filled in a bunch of backstory.
Yeah.
If you just open it. Okay, I want to bring this in because I love this fact. It doesn't really fit. Do you know the connection between Daredevil and the Ninja Turtles?
No.
they're both Batman parodies.
Kind of. In the original comic,
Splinter.
no, in the original comic, it's a fan theory that the toxic ooze or the toxic material
Okay.
that made Daredevil is the same stuff that hit the Turtles. In the original comic, there's a kid standing there with a fishbowl when he gets hit with it, and then the kid drops the fishbowl. That had turtles in it. So the fan theory is it's the same stuff.
Do you want to know the other connection? Who's the main bad guys in Daredevil? The ninja people.
Oh, the hand and the foot.
Yeah.
Well, given Ninja Turtles was a satire,
Yep.
so that's why there's a
I
connection
figured
there.
you'd enjoy that one. The hand and the foot. I don't know the Shredder connection yet, but I'm sure it'll come up somewhere. And
Get there.
I'm pretty sure there's a
Orokosaki.
Bebop and Rocksteady. Ooh.
So this question might be a little one-sided, being as you haven't seen the Netflix adaptation. But I put in there, it says of all the Daredevil adaptations as of 2018, what do you think is the worst one? Why or why not?
Oh, this movie, because it's not Daredevil. Easy.
That's fair. What would you say is the best though? Because doesn't Netflix doesn't have several different actors who played as him?
No, just
they
the one.
stay
No,
consistent.
there's 3 seasons. It was all Charlie Cox.
Oh, okay, I thought they changed it up.
Fun name.
Well, doesn't answer that one.
And it is a perfect example of why Ben Affleck is not good in this movie. Because you see Charlie Cox, who is not anywhere near as like big and like borderline intimidating as Ben Affleck is in stature, and he plays a much better Daredevil. He's a lot more lean, not as bulky, and he can move around. But the biggest one is when he is Matt Murdock. He's not like crossing his why was Daredevil crossing his eyes the entire movie? Blind people aren't.
I wonder-
I
I wonder how hard it is to act blind.
Charlie Cox does a fantastic job of it.
The
Yeah.
other thing is though, not all of like Ben Affleck was acting blind, because apparently his contacts were so thick that he was virtually blind throughout the film.
Weird.
Yeah, it says he had to wear heavy-duty contact lenses, which knocked out most of his vision. So maybe some of it was genuine, but then again, he was probably hamming it up since, hey, I'm Matt Murdock.
At the time, he was not a super strong actor.
That's true.
I wonder how much of that is him, how much of that is the writing staff.
That's true.
Because you can prop up a bad actor with great writing, and just as you can bring down a good actor with bad writing.
That's true.
If he has nothing to do, the fuck do I do then?
Just say yes.
Yeah, but
Money.
yeah, that's true. That's a valid point too. Which is I've never understood superhero movies that have bad scripts. You've got years of like super famous
Like
arcs
source film, like
to pull
source
exactly
material.
from, like pull dialogue from that. Change it when you have to. This movie tried too hard to be noir with some of their dialogue. Like it was really weird and out of place. But I don't know. It's always bothered me. Same with, to an extent, video games. Like when they can't make a good video game movie, and I think that's more down to the choice of the movie they pick. But
yeah, you made a good point the other day. Like they're writing movies off of games that don't need movies. Like
Yeah.
games that would be great with movies. Like you said, Last of Us and like a few other ones.
BioShock, story-driven games make sense as a movie, but they keep picking the most popular ones that
They're
are
alive.
like, I don't understand why Pixels. Yeah,
Angry Birds.
they tried with Assassin's Creed, but Assassin's Creed's story is a bigger mess than Daredevil.
Max Payne.
That movie was bad.
Hitman.
Yeah.
Hitman doesn't really have. Oh my God, you're right.
Yep.
I forgot they did make a Hitman, yeah, they made several Hitman movies, and then they made that Max Payne with Maki Mak. Mako- Okay,
I
side tangent.
do kind of enjoy that movie.
My company, which will remain nameless, may or may not do work with the Wahlburgers.
Oh, that makes sense.
So there are sometimes cutouts of Mark Wahlberg sitting around the office, and when I'm doing my rounds, I'll catch the image of someone just doing one of these in the corner. I'm like, the fuck? Oh, it's Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Did you tell him to say hi to his mother?
Say hi to your mother for me.
I'm sure you'll probably get the opportunity to meet him.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I've heard. Okay.
Please tell me if you do meet him. You say that.
I have heard.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
There have been times when I'm gonna lose my job right quick. I have heard. I don't know if I want to say this, but I'm a security officer, and our security team has had to interact with his security team.
Oh.
Supposedly, allegedly, they're assholes.
Mm.
So
They're probably paid more, so they're like,
That's
I don't give a fuck. I can be an asshole. I get
Probably.
paid all the money.
just a fucking grunt.
Where I'm just sitting there
Sorry,
with
I got
his dick on my
sidetracked
shoulder.
with Marky Mark.
You said the movie is really slow at the beginning, but it is also just as slow at the end.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel like this movie should have ended after the church fight and
Yes.
not like the next 25 minutes? Maybe go up and fight Kingpin, but even that was such an anticlimactic. Like,
It was extended for the director's cut. It wouldn't have been as long in the
okay,
theatrical
okay.
version.
I can see what they tried doing and what they wanted to do, but they failed in execution.
Mm-hmm.
So that's even after the Kingpin, just like, I'm not the bad guy, done, and then he leaves. End of movie.
That was so like.
You don't need the next 10 minutes to be like, oh yeah, I'm still pining over my dead girlfriend, who I knew for 2 days, fucked, and then accidentally killed her father. Sorry.
Yeah. Did they fuck?
They fucked.
Did they? I might have missed that
It was
part.
kind of a weird, like, yeah, because
That was out of the director's cut.
apparently they're making out in the rain,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like,
I thought he got the boner and he had to go away or something.
I hear crime,
People fighting, yeah.
but I have an erection. But I hear crime. She's like, stay with me, and then they fucked.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I guess that wasn't the theatrical version because in ours he left.
He left. He left
really?
with the
He
awkward
walked
boner.
away.
Yeah.
Really? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Right?
They cut the sex scene. Okay, that's another thing. This movie is so 2000s with all the random cuts to
Yeah.
the exact same shot.
Yep.
There's 5 cuts in the sex scene where it's like it's them from this angle, and then the exact same angle, but a little bit closer, then maybe farther back, then closer,
That's
then farther back. Like, why?
That
When
breaks
you
the-
cut to something else,
I think
a different
it's
angle.
I think it's a 30-degree rule or something like that. If you cut, the camera should be at least 30 degrees different of where it was in the previous shot.
It's one of those Tommy Wiseau moments where we just can't get enough that sex scene. Let's just keep going uncomfortably. Just yep.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck, which is most of this movie anyway, the big fight scene where they fight, Jennifer Garner kicked him so hard in the head that he actually briefly blacked out.
Good.
It's
and
like
then they got
good.
married.
That was the closest he was to Daredevil.
They got
They
married.
couldn't
That's
see.
true.
Yeah. And now they're not married.
Yeah,
I had to look
anymore.
that up. Like, oh, that's kind of sweet. They met on the movie. I know they're divorced.
Yep.
JK.
Yeah.
Which is weird because she was also in Pearl Harbor.
Was she?
Yeah, she was a nurse
Huh.
or something.
Because I remember Kate Beckinsale.
Was she the main? She was the main one.
Hold on.
right?
Hold on.
Is that?
Okay, I'm good. Now my side of the table's rising. We're in trouble.
Yeah. Tom, quick, balance us out.
So
Hulk Hogan, brother.
but yeah, no, the director's cut. Basically, there was footage that was cut and also added, but it's about 30 total minutes of stuff that they took in and put out.
Weird.
And
I
they
find
rated it all.
I found this movie highly entertaining for all the wrong reasons. Like it's same charm as the Batman movies we just watched, where it was just a train wreck, and I found it thoroughly entertaining. Sometimes it was because Colin Farrell was funny. Other times it was because My Immortal scene was so bizarre. The fight scenes were garbage. The choreography was bad. The camera work was awful, and it was so much fun.
When I don't know if I should like this point when they're starting to fight and he throws his stick up. They take their jackets off, and then they kind of do that fighter character pose. I think that was intentional, or did they just not know what they were doing?
That fight scene took them 4 months to shoot. It was either 4 months or it was a good majority. Is it 4 months or 8 days? Either way, I know it's a big gap. But
I think it was.
the way that it said there was,
I think it was 4 days.
It was probably 4 days, not 4 months.
I don't think anyone cared.
I was thinking of the CGI,
CGI,
thing.
yeah,
that
yeah.
took longer. So yeah, no, but
That
that
was
fight
good.
scene took several. It just took longer than it probably should have for them to actually shoot.
For what they got out of it, yeah,
Yeah.
that was very. It seemed Bush League.
That's the thing. What you saw, we saw it was extended. There's extra fighting in the director's cut. And I was like, why?
Yeah, and not good.
It was a
fight.
bit much. No,
Electric
it was
nachos.
terrible. Let's just play on some seesaws.
So anyone who's made it this far, just I'm sorry and go watch the Netflix because that's actual. Everything bad we've said, they do the opposite in that one. The choreography's good. The Daredevil's good. The story makes sense. Karen's still a bitch.
Also, funny little fact there: Kevin Smith shows up.
Yep.
Which I don't know if you guys
Was he in?
He was the doctor. He was at the morgue.
No. Sorry, I just meant was he in the director's cut?
Yeah.
I spoiled it for myself the second he showed up. Because Amazon does like these fun facts and trivias. And I had to pause the video right before he turns around. It says, Kevin Smith in this scene. Like, fuck.
Dang.
Oh no.
That would have been great if I was like, fuck, Kevin Smith's here. This is great now.
He's one of the people that I want to say I heard quoting saying the director's cut is better, and maybe he's right. I don't know. I can't argue because I enjoyed it thoroughly, but it's strange to me that I can only assume he didn't read the script and didn't know what was going on, or he's just such a big fan that he was like, yes, I will do it, please.
What if
Pretty much
he
that's
wrote the movie?
It would be better because I have multiple Daredevils written by Kevin Smith, and they're much better.
I've heard those are good ones.
Yes.
Apparently, though, at the morgue, he writes in his laptop on the Modern Morgue website, "I'll drop you like a 3-year-old corpse's testicle if you," and it's like ...
Yeah.
I hope that's his original writing.
Probably. That's very odd if it would be anyone else.
Modernmorgue.com.
Right?
Christians only.
.com.
Oh my god. Do you guys have any other points?
Well, I mean, I want to talk about the subplot, but I know it sounds like you're eager to talk about that one.
And I kind of want to segue into it because we just talked about a cameo, and I was going to count this as a cameo, but it ended up being much more than that.
Well, I do. Okay, so we'll spin off of that for a moment because I do have, like, I think a few other questions.
Okay.
What's your take on his costume overall?
Awful.
I mean, why though?
The leather is weird. Like
The motorcycle jacket leather.
Yeah, I get that it would be more protective, I guess, but it's weird that's not a single piece. Like, it's a jacket and pants. So, at some point during those fights, there's just going to be the weird sections of his skin showing. Or, like, he might be picking something up and you just see a little Daredevil crack
So,
hanging
like,
out.
Pull his coat down.
Yeah. And that's just weird. If he had ever jumped into water, it would just...
That's fair. I mean, I do know, like, all the other representations, he always seems to be wearing a skin-tight suit with,
Right.
like, the Superman underwear on top, which, I mean, I don't know how practical that is for, deflecting toughness.
It makes people aim
It's
elsewhere.
it's kind of a throwback. Do you guys know why superheroes wear their tights on the outside?
I don't.
It's a throwback to like circus strongmen who'd have like the skin tight
Yeah.
suits and then the trunks outside.
Yep.
And then with him being an acrobat or acrobatic, he'd have the leotard.
Yep.
That's why
Robin.
it's reminiscent of
Dick Grayson. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Master Dick.
The thing that also bothers me about his suit in this one is they have meshed two like Daredevil things together. His mask is awful because normally, like, if you look at those or if you look at the show, usually the mask kind of forms into the suit and it's not just a top
A
piece.
separate piece.
But they have the Man Without Fear like tie tails on the back, but it doesn't tie. Like, it just sits on there. Like, it's off multiple times, and there's clearly not like a string that gets pulled or anything. So I don't know why they gave him the little frilly things in the back. Was kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it adds for, like, the cool factor. Because I feel like that's what they're going for. That's like it's a motorcycle jacket.
Yeah.
Cool.
The movie was originally going to be like a hard R.
Oh, yeah.
Nudity, violence, sex, all that good stuff.
Director's cut was a soft R.
There you go. So I wonder if
Side
that... When did Blade come out?
My table's down.
2000, 99, 98, 97.
I wonder if they're... Because early comic book movies, they did this whole, like, the grim, broody, everything's got to be, like, badass leather. If they would have gone for a more classic look, but just updated it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Days of Future Past.
Okay, yeah.
Or the McAvoy X-Men timeline. Like, it's still the same color scheme, but it's more like updated leather.
Right.
Or like bodysuit type stuff. That looks good.
To be fair, though, it did look like the leather was surrounded by plates. It almost looked like it was a suit
had,
that
like,
was made
extra
for
padding.
functionality.
Yep.
So, like, it looked like he could take a bullet, but he obviously took a stab wound to the shoulder and was crippled for the last half of the movie.
I'm pretty
But
sure
still
he
beat
goes
the bad guy.
Yeah, he goes to the same people that make the X-Men costumes in the original X-Men
Those are
series.
just black leather.
Leather, yeah. Like they had some weird aversion, like we won't be taken seriously if we have bright colors and spandex, but also we'll
no,
bright shit.
No, Cyclops says to Logan, "What would you prefer, yellow spandex?"
Yeah, actually, yes, I would prefer that. Thank you. Because then
do that.
Just give me the characters on screen. So I am so mad that I never saw Hugh Jackman in the yellow spandex and the mask. That's Wolverine.
That's true.
That is Wolverine. I've seen Logan a bunch of movies.
I just want to see that headdress though with the.
That's what I'm talking about.
I know, but
gotcha,
the rest of his costume, I get in the boots with the really extra weird shit at
Yeah,
the bottom.
like the blue tips.
The Daredevil costume in this one, it's just all one color. There, it's just nothing fun to look at. It's just one.
It's basically
leather
one
latex
color.
daddy. He's a ball gag away from being a sub, right? That's
Gimp Devil.
Gimp Devil, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Him and Catwoman could have fun.
There's no COD shot in this.
I'm okay with that.
There's no axe shot of him suiting up.
There is though the montage.
Several, and they don't do it very
His
good, I
ass?
feel like.
No. Just in general.
just
In
Of
general.
his ass.
In
That's
general,
what I
they
mean.
have montage,
That's
yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
That was the connection.
Did buckle his boots a couple times.
Did I miss this in the director's cut?
Possibly. I'm not sure.
It was everything.
Other question I have, for its time of its release, do you think it was considered good or was it mediocre? But
Might be worse than mediocre.
Before it was released though, when it was like doing like, did it have a big hype before it came out?
I don't
remember. Feel like it did, but I don't know
remember.
how the marketing was.
I would kind of assume, because they talked about how Spider-Man did so well. That
Yeah.
was a blockbuster.
Yep.
So they probably want to push it, be like, hey, it's the next Spider-Man, BT dubs.
So it would have been like X-Men, Spider-Man, Daredevil.
Yeah.
And they're progressively getting better. And I mean, Ben Affleck would have been kind of getting to the point of like the height of his popularity and things like
Pearl
that.
Harbor came out before that,
I have no idea. I think so.
2001.
so he was starring in that, and then he's like, "Hey, we're gonna have him a super movie."
Yeah.
And then
No, yeah, almost killed the character. And honestly, I liked Daredevil when I was a kid, and then I saw this. No.
Okay. I was just wanting to
character.
clarify.
Like in video games, I would play. I would pick him, and I'd like see figures, and I'd see like him show up in like my Spider-Man comics. I was like, that guy's cool. And then I saw this movie as a kid, and I was just
That
like,
guy's not cool.
that guy's not cool. That's Ben Affleck. And I had to like get my love for Daredevil back just within the last couple years. I'm like,
Rekindle it.
this character is cool. It's Ben Affleck that ruined it.
You're always into the darker characters.
Yeah, that's true.
The Crow, about
Yeah.
as dark as I think they can get.
True.
Yeah, you want to talk grim dark.
Ooh.
True love never dies.
Can't rain all the time.
I think the
Is
only
that
other one I
gasoline
had,
I smell?
Do you think this film holds up?
Yes.
I'd say
yeah.
I'd say it's better now.
Yes.
With time, you can kind of distance yourself. It's better.
Distance
Not that it was
yourself.
good when it came out, but it wasn't the worst thing ever.
It's still just as bad, but a million times better. Now that you have
I feel like it has this very specific audience that appreciates it.
correct, it's an ironically fun movie, as hipster as that sounds.
There's also something I come to learn that Stan Lee enjoys to do with his characters. They always have like the same letter for first and last name: Peter Parker, Mac Murdock.
Oh yeah, he likes
all of that,
alliteration.
Yeah, I was just like,
Yep.
that's kind of cool.
Yep.
But wouldn't that be a giveaway over time in the universe overall? Would the enemies be like, you have two of the same letters? Are you?
There's a bunch of people that would fall into that. That would take so long if someone was just going through the phone
Nicholas
book. I will
Nachos.
figure it out.
I didn't like the reveal of the Wesley Owen Welch though. It said mom, and then she's
Yeah.
like, "Wow."
So they break into the room where the murder happens that they're trying to investigate.
Wait, what murder?
That's the whole subplot that you won't see unless you see.
We're
the
talking
movie.
about it
like
now.
His dad's
Yeah, so here we
murder.
go.
We're talking about it right now.
Yep.
So
Bring it
It
to
was
him.
the wrong movie.
Bring it to it.
in the director's cut, when they show them in court, they're
Buckle
like,
up.
I would like to call to the stand our client, or maybe they go talk to him after, whatever it is. It's motherfucking Coolio. And at first I was like, oh, Coolio. He was in the last movie we watched. How the fuck? How do I not know this? Now that we know it's director's cut. So he has been framed for a murder They're like, hey, he's a black thug. It was him. And so they're trying to prove his innocence while at the same time find out who killed this lady in her apartment. That's the scenes that are flashing at the beginning. Like he's like, whoa, and then when he's getting into his hyperbaric or isolation chamber,
They call it a coffin,
hyperbolic time chamber.
whatever his chamber is, there's another flash of her like on the floor reaching out for help and things like that.
Is he psychic now?
He's like, I think
the
what they're
workplace
trying,
detective.
yeah, they're trying to like show what he's formulating his thoughts on, which doesn't make sense because the rest of the movie he straight up narrates his thoughts and feelings, which is unnecessary.
And that's how I saved the city.
Another one of those noir things that I don't think works out super well in this movie.
Yeah.
But they're in her apartment, and he's like, I hear people talking. He's in his apartment, and he feels like on the wood. He's like, oh, there's writing scratched into the tabletop here, and it's 9-8 MOM. And so he's like, Mom. Later on, Foggy is sitting there, and Karen's like, oh, what's this? Flips it
He's
over.
like, August 9th, is that when the murder happened?
Yeah.
And then it says, wow, instead of Mom. And he's like, wow, Wesley Owen Welch.
Who is Kingpin's right-hand man.
So that's how they figured
Yep.
it out. Yep. It was that simple.
Remember that talk we had about Dracula and Alucard? Same thing.
Yep.
He's a better Batman.
False.
No. God damn it.
So that's what you miss. But the main thing was Coolio, who was fantastic. He still had his hair. And there's a part where they're going with a risky maneuver in court, and like you see him like look up and look around. It's amazing. He looks so confused that it almost seems like he forgot they were rolling. It's fantastic.
There was a line in there where he is like, were you intoxicated? No, I was not drunk. I might have been really high, though. And they're just like, no.
He's like playing the character that is, for some reason, so dumb that he will be like, no, that didn't happen because this worst thing happened. I'm on trial.
What was his hair like?
It was honestly rather refined.
He was actually in the trailer.
Yeah.
They had his character in
Did
the
they?
trailers, but they just completely cut it from the theatrical version.
It was like cornrowed back. It didn't have like all the.
It didn't have like.
It didn't have the
on.
Coolio.
It
look.
had those that were sticking out of the back of the do-rag he was wearing, though. Because
Oh.
he had the thing on, but then they're all just in the back kind of poking out. So.
I wonder if he wasn't in the bar fight scene. Because I thought that was him. I thought I saw him.
I don't believe so. It was a biker bar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of biker bar, I'll
Maybe it
bring
was the
that in there
cafe.
quick.
Maybe.
According to the DVD commentary on the theatrical release version, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's cousin is in the bar fight. Bar fight scene, he is the one that says to Quesada, "Hey boss, who the hell is that?"
To be fair,
Is that why he has the line? He's the Rock's cousin.
at the time, Rock not super huge.
True.
Really big in the wrestling world, but in
Yeah.
terms of like Hollywood, he would have
yeah.
done like the Scorpion King with Michael Clark Duncan. There it is. Sorry.
Was
I
he
mean,
in
was
that?
terrible.
Yeah, he played the leader of the tribe that he fights, and then he earns the respect because he beats him up, and then they help him. Anyways,
All I remember from Scorpion King is from the third movie, where the guy comes in, throws a sword, and says, "Never trust a Greek," because he's Greek, and that's
I
the
only
joke.
saw the first one. After that, it was so bad. I was like, I don't want to see these other ones either.
and they
Oh
don't
wait,
have the Rock.
doesn't he fall into like a hot tub? And
Oh.
chicks steal his weapons.
Yes, and they're all naked but somehow covered by something in the room.
Because it's PG-13, it has to be.
This was kind of the height of everything has to be PG-13. R will not draw money.
Yeah.
Which is strange.
Nowadays, it was the opposite, and now they're kind of touching back on
Right. Yeah. Well,
Deadpool,
has shown
Logan.
Logan. Correct. Yep. Because before this, Blade would have been rated R. Everyone's always forgets. They forget two things about Blade for some reason. Because Daredevil came out and they're like, Deadpool came out and they're like, finally an R-rated superhero movie. And he's like, and then Black Panther came out, finally a black superhero, and he's just like,
Well, Deadpool and Black Panther didn't go to jail for tax evasion. So.
true.
To be fair, though, I feel
But
like
Deadpool was in Blade 3.
I feel like superhero movies overall, just in how their story are, they should be rated R ones. Because I mean, like, if you
Watchmen.
think about like Logan, like the
Watchmen.
dude has blades. Like, they're not gonna not cause bloody
it's gonna
harm.
It's gonna be graphic.
Like, and laser beams and shit. Like, come on.
Watchmen is a deconstruction of superheroes.
Well, true, but I'm just saying the movie is
Yeah.
On a whole, an R-rated superhero movie. It's got superheroes in it.
I haven't seen that in so long. It's so long too.
I used
Titties
to
and
be
dick.
of the what?
That's all you draw from it.
Titties and dick.
Oh,
A lot of blue dick.
I got a story about blue dick.
Oh my god. Put a pin in that.
I used to be of the opinion superhero movies should be dark and gritty and all that. That's just me though. I'm kind of more towards like not lighten it up. It doesn't have to be campy and wacky.
They don't have to be the what is it? The lawful good.
Yeah.
The chaotic good.
You can do a good movie without having blood splatter and sex.
Yeah, Marvel's proven that.
Yeah, and that's where they've hit that niche. They've hit that stride. Yeah, it has its own. It has its own place.
Daredevil as a character, though, should always be represented in a, I don't even necessarily say dark, but a grittier fashion. Being in Hell's Kitchen, New York, being a devil, being someone that is primarily out at night. You rarely see him fighting in the daytime.
When was it
very
that
similar to
the
Batman.
13 rating became a thing? I can't remember that
Late
year.
80s, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. It was, for a long time, there's a lot of, like, PG movies that should definitely...
Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of swearing in that one, so I was just trying to remember.
Yeah.
I was like, there's that time.
There's a lot of movies that they're good, but yeah, nowadays they would not fly as a PG-13.
Nope.
Goonies wouldn't fly nowadays.
A lot of 80s movies. Yeah. A lot of them. A lot of them wouldn't fly just for social standards either.
No.
Yeah.
Something about Harrison Ford grabbing people by the arms and pulling her closer. A little
It
rapey.
was, speaking of which, apparently The Office, they said if they were to reboot that in today's climate, it would not fly.
No, which
And
would
I
be
was
tragic.
watching an episode the other day, and it's Kevin was talking about wanting to do Holly. I'm like, yeah, no, that wouldn't work.
Mm-mm. Maybe that's what we need more than anything right now.
I'm gonna stay away from that one.
Anyway, so Coolio was my what the fuck moment.
My what the fuck moment was every single bullseye scene.
That's a solid
Bullseye.
choice.
Yeah. Just like,
Stop.
he made me miss.
So you didn't get to see the airplane scene? Is that what you said was the director's cut?
Airplanes, the airport one where he's walking through and the metal detector.
Yeah.
And
So he walks in, kind of like Castor Troy and Face Off. He's like very big and like open, and he called him like Chris Angel, which is perfect.
I do magic.
I want to watch this now.
It's pretty good.
I'll just go watch his scenes. I'll just go find that.
That yeah,
all you
super
need.
cut it, because that's basically the character that he had, and they sliced that out, and it's like that informs this entire movie for me.
Because like he gets into the airport, he puts down a pen, he puts down a toothpick, he's sucking on fucking paper clips, and he's like.
Is that when he does the
spinning
card trick, or
No,
is that later?
That's
Okay.
later because
Okay.
Elektra's like, not only am I this, I am magic.
Oh yeah, and he gives her a tiny little paper cut in the throat, and she's like
like,
done for the yeah.
Like how he throws it. It's coming this way. It cuts this way.
That's how good he is. He curved the bullet.
I think also the bar scene was shortened for his intro. That in the director's cut they extended it.
We need to talk about the bar scene.
Oh, wait.
Not his bar scene, the other bar scene, the fight bar scene, the biker bar scene.
Justice.
The pool table.
The pool table, exactly. For if nothing else.
Okay. In my version, in my universe, he gets up on the pool table, which is on fire, and then it cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what happens in yours?
Close.
Close.
In ours, technically, he walks across them to the guy he's questioning, and then insinuates that he kills him, which Daredevil is kind of that's why him and Elektra don't get along. Because she's all like, "Let's kill," and he's like, "Let's not." But the greatest piece of film ever to be associated with this movie is a blooper that involves those pool tables and fire. You get the back cut of him getting ready to
Make
run
the
up.
effort of looking it up.
No, because they won't be able to see it anyway, so it'll be pointless. He goes to run up, misjudges the first step, shins himself on the pool table, falls into the fire. That's Daredevil,
Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen.
the king of agility and dexterity.
Jumping.
The man without fear.
And it's just so much better to imagine that's Ben Affleck in the suit. And they're like, "Okay, Ben, can we please get this stunt double in now?"
Like, come on.
Oh, God. He looks so awkward when he runs.
Yeah.
I
He
know
says
that.
Batman run about him, like where he can't move his neck.
probably very tight, rigid in
Yeah. It's so weird to me that comic book movies and movies in general for costumes, they care nothing for the actors.
Sacrifice, yeah.
Yeah, like Freeze, like Arnold, like
Yeah.
just this uncomfortable suit. Just you can sacrifice a little bit, right? You can find ways to make that work.
Costume designers have gotten
Turtles is
infinitely
kinda hard.
better.
Yeah, and as it progresses, they
Figure out ways to like put fans in there and make the acting
Now
more
everything's
comfortable.
just CGI.
Yeah.
Now they just wear suits with a bunch of dots on them.
Probably still more comfortable.
Probably.
Not as glamorous.
Right. When you look back on it.
Yeah.
And
Let's look at the behind the scenes footage. Everyone's looking like Goldust with their dick hanging out.
The grapes and the sausage.
Oh my god. What was your what the fuck moment, Lance?
Every single time there was CGI.
Nice.
Every single fucking time.
It's very noticeable.
I know that it's 15 years old, but that was not good at the time, right?
Correct. The argument about it's 15 years old is that Jurassic Park is 20. And
Exactly.
It's
And that CGI
in the
looks
daylight,
beautiful.
in
For
motion.
CGI in that movie, I thought a lot of it was animatronics.
There was a good
Yeah,
mix.
and that's why it succeeds because they have both.
Yeah.
They've got the animatronic T-Rex that they can also touch up with the graphics, as well as the Raptor, where it's like people in suits moving them around, they can touch up. But when you see the Gallimimus herd, I believe, running through the fields, that's all CGI, and they're like weaving in and out.
Don't they do like? No, they do an up close on that one. I thought it was only an above shot they did for that one.
You see them pretty close as they're running.
Yeah.
It's been a while
Yeah.
since I've seen the film.
It's fantastic. I highly recommend.
Had an obsession. MVP. Even going out of order, I don't know. But,
Do you hear what the fuck moment?
yeah,
it
mine was
was
every
the-
Bullseye scene.
yeah.
Every
Oh,
single
that's
Bullseye
right.
scene.
Yeah, we started with you.
Fuck that guy.
Favorite scene? The funeral. I think that deserves a deep dive because it's a masterclass of cinema. They pick a fantastic song in My Immortal by Evanescence. Unironically, unapologetically love that song. It's beautiful. But they somehow managed to put it with the least fitting thing they could ever put it with, and that's the super melodramatic acting of Garner and Ben Affleck with Dutch angles in the rain talking about their feelings. And she
She has
says,
the umbrella that she puts up to just
Vengeance won't save your
Shut him
soul.
it's like, my father's dead. I can't do this. And the cherry on the top is he's like trying to give his one last like, but I love you, I guess, already. And she pops open the umbrella so she can't see her anymore.
Fooled
So
you.
good. Yeah, it's so good. That was amazing. That alone is worth the view. What's your favorite scene, Tom?
The opening scene when Daredevil just straight pops to the ground. So it's the part where he like comes down from the church and he's wounded and he just
Yeah.
it's the noise he makes. That's only shadowed by the scene, if it was altered, where Froggy throws the ball at Matt. I don't know if you get the chance to see this. Froggy throws the ball at Matt and he just catches it. I would have loved if it just would have. And he just didn't flinch or nothing.
Still,
and then just
still goes
later
for the
goes
grab.
like
Yeah,
this.
People are dicks to him.
they are. Yeah.
Like, everyone knows he's blind, and they're still just like, I'm gonna throw shit at you. I'm gonna give
with
you
your coffee.
mustard to put in your coffee, motherfucker.
Yep. Swish.
It's almost like they know.
What was
I wish there was more of that. Yeah, swish. That
Sure.
totally made it. Yeah.
I think we had a pretty good comedy on our hands last night. We were just small tweaks to each scene. It would have been gold. The walking away with the boner, I don't remember what the joke was, but that was fantastic too.
Well, because they were just getting all sorts of up close, and then
Oh
he's
yeah,
saying this
he came.
he's like, I gotta go.
What was your favorite scene?
I don't know if I really had a favorite scene.
Because there were too many to choose from.
Too many to
Didn't
choose
see
from.
the
Tough.
yeah, I'm sure I would have had one if I saw director's cut, but
Not to brag.
I don't know. How about I take salsa dancing classes. I don't shake my ass to pay the bills. I got nothing.
Good line.
I got nothing.
It was so good that I don't even remember it.
What's that one cut to?
It's
Possibly.
possible.
Who said that?
Foggy.
Oh, Foggy. Oh,
I really liked him,
Yeah,
but maybe that's because there was nothing else in the theatrical cut.
Possibly,
He's
it's very
the
possible.
humor. He was probably the comedic relief of the film.
I would.
Yeah.
It sounds like they toned down a little bit of Bullseye, and so he would have been the guy. That makes sense.
I mean, I definitely like Farrell. I definitely like all the Bullseye stuff, but I don't think he works as well as Jim Carrey or Uma Thurman. He's trying to have fun with it. You can definitely tell he's having fun with it.
He would be the one you wouldn't notice.
It's
in the
not
other
exactly.
ones.
It's not exactly doing it for
He
me.
would be Tommy Lee Jones, basically, where it's like, yeah, he's fun, he's having fun, but he's next to Jim Carrey. Yeah, that makes
Being
sense.
Outplayed.
My MVP, I don't know yet. I'm still debating, so I'm gonna throw it to you.
Michael Clark Duncan's representation of Kingpin.
Okay.
I basically say he just so happened to play the big menacing role very well. Like the whole gaining muscle, the whole gaining everything just to be big in stature, and like just overall, he played a good menacing, like overarching top Kingpin essentially. Just like in general, he's got the presence.
I think it was him, when he first started acting, he would refuse roles that would put him in a negative. He refused to be like a gangster or a drug dealer. That's all that big black man could get.
Yeah.
He refused to do it because he just didn't want to have that
He
stereotype.
did want to be typecast as that guy.
Plus, he wanted to play football, but his mother refused to let him play.
Wow.
So he went into acting. She didn't want him to get hurt. He's like,
Yeah.
fine, fuck it, I'm going to be an actor then.
Sure, you mom.
Show you, mom.
Well, not only that, but like he's the
He has a
Right,
very
he used
distinct
the voice.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that gravelly voice
I
that
do
just
love
fits
that
with it. And
voice.
it's very intimidating. And
He
just,
commands attention and power. Yeah.
Yeah. Green Mile.
I'm
Your
afraid
MVP?
of the dog.
Coffee, like the drink, but spelled differently. Oh, I love John Coffey.
Who was your MVP?
In honor of the passing of the great Stan Lee, it has to be Stan Lee.
Yeah.
his cameo.
Yeah. Not his best cameo, but I do wonder when they say Mr. Lee paid with Fluke if they meant Stan Lee.
Yell Nats?
Terrible.
Y'all know?
Stanley Yell Nats.
The holes. You've seen Holes. You read the book Holes? Oh.
Oh, that's with
Shia.
LaBouffe.
Actual
running in the
cannibal.
dark. I just watched that again. Quiet.
The little zoom on the
cannibal Shia LaBeouf running in the
Yes.
dusk. It's Shia LaBeouf, and then the
Hiding in the shadows.
but you know jujitsu.
Anyways, Stanley is Yell Nats backwards. But I'm pretty sure Yell Nats is Stanley backwards. Zero's not a smart cookie.
No.
No.
Just figure it out.
Anyways, what is the best Stanley cameo?
I like
I really-
Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok.
What is his in that?
He's cutting Thor's hair.
He's
He
the
brings
barber,
out
yeah.
the big
Okay.
giant like singing machine. He's like, I don't know if I'm using this right. And it's like, okay.
Don't cut my hair. Please
Yeah.
don't cut my hair, sir.
Weird. What do you think the best one is?
I haven't seen a lot of them because I just kind of stopped watching Marvel movies. Was it? Was he in Deadpool 2?
I don't think he was.
I think he.
Is he? See,
can't
that's kind of the
recall.
thing I was starting to notice is his cameos seem to kind of get worse and worse. I think his cameos peaked in Age of Ultron, honestly, at the party when he drinks that the Asgardian drink, and
The
he's
one that I
just
can remember,
sauced.
I can't remember if he's in Deadpool 2 or not, but Deadpool 1, he's like, and coming to the stage, Excelsior! Shake your titties for him, boys! It's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
He's
I
in a
can
strip
see
club
him there.
now.
He is just family friendly, Hugh Hefner.
Good to see you, Hugh.
I think his best cameo is Mallrats. Shows up and talks to Kevin Smith, and they have a conversation about how no, he doesn't talk to Kevin Smith. Sorry, he talks to TS about how Brody has a weird fixation on all these Marvel heroes' junk. And I don't know why, but hearing him talk about Marvel's junk is hilarious to me.
I think we can agree that The Princess Bride is his best cameo.
I don't want to say it but I've never seen
Apparently,
The Princess
his
Bride.
cameo in
Neither
Deadpool 2 was very brief.
I can't recall it.
It's a bit different from Marvel movies, so it's easy to miss.
Is it just a picture of him?
It's one of those blinking you'll miss it. It's very easy to come by. It's just a very large image of his face during one of the scene's action sequences because his face is plastered on the side of a building as a mural.
See, I don't count that.
So yeah,
that's more of an Easter
I
egg than
wouldn't
a
count
cameo.
that.
it's when they're
That's
parachuting
fan
into the
service.
city.
I wouldn't count that.
Yeah, fan service. Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's his cameo for the film.
I do also like his one in, even though it's a shit movie, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, I changed mine. I just remembered it. I just saw it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, Lancey. Yeah.
Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Haven't seen it yet.
I want to see it. Okay, when that show first came out, Teen Titans Go. I really love Teen Titans.
Is that the animated one? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then that got canceled, and then Teen Titans Go came out. Everyone hated it. I never gave it a chance. I had to start watching it. It's fucking hilarious.
That's what I've been told
It
by
is
somebody.
legitimately an amazingly funny show. It's like that.
He said there's a lot of like adult humor.
Yeah,
and
it's
subtext.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. That's we were talking about last time about doing adult humor, but in kid stuff. That fucking nails it.
Do you think it's just the art style?
I
Do you
don't
think
know.
that's what really got people off on the wrong foot?
I think so. Like seeing that, I'm like, no, I don't want to watch this. Even though it's the same voice actors, the writing
on
is
Hulu,
legitimately
you can watch
good. I fucking love it. Okay, so Teen Titans Go to the movies. They're running away from all these superheroes and Batman, which already there's a funny bit. Batman's like, I'm Batman. And then they blow up his car and he jumps out. Batman returns. Blows the car, like, Batman forever.
Jesus.
And then fucking Stan Lee hits into their car. They're like, Stan Lee, get out of here. This isn't Marvel. He goes, I don't care. I just love doing cameos. Excelsior.
Is it really Stan Lee though?
Yes.
That's
yes.
amazing. That wins hands down.
Oh
We have our
my
winner.
God, I fucking love it.
That's so good. Oh my god. Oh, well, since he picked Michael Clark Duncan, then I guess my MVP is going to be Colin Farrell because that was the two I was trying to choose from. I just wanted to make sure they both got their due for the reasons that have been stated multiple times in this episode so far.
Fair enough.
Oh, man, that was Daredevil.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, that was. Happy birthday.
Sorry.
You should have watched the director's cut.
I should have.
It's a whole different experience.
We owe it
Fuck
to
yeah.
you.
I would give it a little bit. Don't jump into it right now.
Give it some breathing room before you pick it up again.
Another 15 years. I'll come back to it.
Do you have any thoughts or ideas as to where we go next?
I kind of want to touch base on the Christmas stuff.
That makes sense,
and
yeah.
I thought we watched Home Alone. Let's watch Home Alone 2. Because I love that fucking movie.
You really want to?
No, I'm going to have to mull it over. I haven't really thought about it. But
I was gonna say,
I am going to go
there's-
for more of a Christmas
There's a
movie.
pretty
just-
big pitfall in that one.
Yeah,
that
it's
I don't
just
think
gonna
we wanna touch.
delve into like an hour of me being angry about somebody.
Whatever could you mean?
Fucking Joe Pesci. God.
That fucking son of a mukayata. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll
always
debate on
do.
that one.
Let's do Die Hard.
I feel like people want us to do that. We're
Yeah.
gonna do that stupid side-by-side argument. Is it a Christmas movie?
Yes, it
I
is.
hate no.
Yes.
And I mean,
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Then Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
No.
What?
Die Hard
What does
really-
Home Alone?
No.
What does Home Alone have to do with Christmas, other than the fact that it takes place during
Actual
Christmas?
family togetherness.
That-
Actual
no.
sense of charity.
That can be
and
Thanksgiving.
giving. But it's not set during Thanksgiving. What does fucking Die Hard have? Die Hard is
He's going
Christmas
to-
party. That's it.
He's going
There's no snow.
to
There's no
reconnect.
trees. It's blood, violence, and murder.
Snow and trees is not necessary for Christmas. California does not get snow, and they still have Christmas.
For a Christmas movie.
Nope. The only
I
thing
would
that has to
argue.
happen for it to be a Christmas movie, the family is still there. He's going to LA to rekindle his marriage with his wife.
And then terrorists show up.
Correct. There's about as much reference to it being Christmas in Die Hard as there is in Thanksgiving. Or Thanksgiving in
Like I
Home
was on a
Alone.
total tangent. I
Right.
knew this was gonna happen. I brought up
Hey,
fucking Die
guys.
Hard.
Yep. All they do is it's on I keep saying Thanksgiving now. It's on Christmas. His family fucks off for some reason, and then it's this kid surviving by himself in a singular location.
There are Christmas songs.
There's Christmas songs in Die Hard,
Is there?
and during the credits.
Totally counts.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure when they keep making references like, oh, Christmas,
Not
Now,
even supposed to be here. It's my day off.
there is a very good parallel drama between Die Hard and Home Alone also, in that the first one, really good.
And then every
Sequels,
sequel just down.
Die Hard does kind of peak back up real quick for number 3, but then just again just back down.
Is Macaulay Culkin making a comeback?
Nothing.
He keeps
brother
popping up on Red Letter
in one
Media.
movie.
I think he's doing YouTube now.
He's got his own
surprised.
website that he.
Oh, is that it?
He's like the president of, and it's like a comedic writing website. So he's been popping on the podcast, but in
Okay.
terms of a comeback, no.
I'm like,
He's happy
That's a
and he's
comeback
got
story.
money, but
Is he clean?
He looks
as
a
far as I know,
lot
good.
better.
as far as I know. Anyways,
So I was gonna suggest to you guys,
Not
do
Christmas
you
movie.
think for our next one, being as it's close to a holiday and trying to be like super great, not that we're gonna have many people watching, do you want to try and Facebook Live it?
I don't even have
I
any
know you
idea how to
don't
go
do
about doing
Facebook,
that.
But I mean, I could do that. But I was saying, would you be interested in the idea?
I just
I'll present it to the crowd and get about maybe 1 or 2 responses. But you know, hey,
logistically, I have no idea how we would do that.
just hit go and then have it record us on a computer and my phone.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to hear this at the same time, so it's going to be just us in a big, like, reverberating room with, like, stuff going.
So we need more sound pads.
Yes.
Okay.
We need to make a blanket for it. I'm right there with you.
Okay. No, but for real, I don't know what we're going to do quite yet.
Mhm.
I will keep it on the post. I'm trying to be more Facebook active since in my downtime I can do that at work. But yeah, no, stay tuned. We're going to stick to the regular scheduled program and try and do it on the 30th, or do we want to do it before then?
1st and the 15th. Just like they're waiting on Kendrick.
I mean, it's December and this is going to come out on the 15th. And if we want to still do a Christmassy one, it has to be released in December.
January 1st. The perfect time for a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Just when everyone's tired of it. Anyway, we've been Dudes
I
Watch
watched
a
Jingle
Movie
All the Way in July.
podcast, video cast. And we'll see you again next time.